Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's wonderful to be here today. At some point, we've all wanted to change something about ourselves. Maybe it's a tendency to get easily irritated or saying things we later regret. And yet, despite our sincere efforts, change often feels out of reach. But what if the solution is far simpler than we thought? In these studies, through the sacred word of Kyoshu-sama and Masaaki-sama, we are learning how to deal with our thoughts and feelings through prayer and how to understand what is really happening when these thoughts and feelings arise. But what if there was even more to it? What if the food we eat has something to do with whether or not we are successful at changing? This week, we will watch together Masaaki-sama's video message number 26, A Paradise on Earth Starts from the Kitchen. In it, Masaaki-sama shows us that our food is not only important for our health, but how it is also the reason for much of the conflict we see and experience today. A vegan diet is not only for our health benefit, but also for peace. We will see how human aggression, violence, and even war are deeply connected to what we eat. Furthermore, Masaaki-sama shows us that the power to change the world is much closer than we think. Let us receive this sacred message and change the world, one vegan meal at a time. Stay tuned as we begin right after this. As we begin today's study, let us, in the name of Messiah, which is one with Meishu-sama, one with Jesus Christ, recognize that it is only by God's grace and Kyoshu-sama's permission that we are able to hold these studies. With hearts filled with gratitude for this permission, let us, at this moment, invite all our ancestors, all humanity, who live and breathe within each cell of our bodies to participate in this study with us, acknowledging that the thoughts and feelings we experience during this study are the very thoughts and feelings that God has atoned for within each one of us. So, in the name of Messiah, let us together with them return to heaven as ones who have been forgiven and saved through the atoning blood of Christ. We begin today's study with the church canon. Church canon. With great fear of God, we acknowledge that the Lord God is our true Father, the one and only God. We revere Meishu-sama as the model for all humanity and as our own example to follow. Meishu-sama, who was born anew as a true child of God, the Messiah, by receiving the divine will that God accomplished in heaven. We believe that Jesus Christ, who 2,000 years ago embodied the name of Messiah, the name most holy and high, is serving the Lord God in unity with Meishu-sama. We regard the sacred word of Kyoshu-sama, who reveals to us the will of Meishu-sama in this material world, as the sole, absolute, and irreplaceable foundation in advancing our mission here on earth. Words of prayer. God, I acknowledge that you are alive. Within me, you are alive. I thank you for nurturing me to be newly born as your child. May this blessing be shared with all. In the name of Messiah, which is one with Meishu-sama, I surrender myself to you. Please use me as you wish. Thank you very much. For all those of you watching who have not yet become followers of our church's Instagram page, this is a great time to do so. All you have to do is open Instagram on your phone, search for World Church of Messiah. Once the page opens, below the name of the page, you will see the button to follow. Click on it. But it doesn't end there. On the top right-hand corner is a bell sign. Click on it to enable notifications. Make sure to enable all notifications. By doing so, you'll be updated daily in real time when new posts are made in the Instagram page. This is a great way to align our sonin and hearts with the holy seat of Kyoshu on a daily basis. Through the Instagram page and Facebook, it is also a great way to see how our church is bringing this gospel of salvation to the world evermore, with not only the sacred words that are being posted daily, but also through the three pillars of salvation, food and music as well. There are great posts. There's so much we can learn and so much that we can share with our family and friends. It is a true treasure, so make sure to share. Every week, I choose a post from Instagram for us to have in mind during our study. In this week's Instagram, we have the following quote from Meishu-sama's sacred word. In it, he shares, "As I have said before, cancer, the illness most feared in the United States, is caused by toxins in meat. It is because of the meat diet." Meishu-sama. Sacred Word of Meishu-sama sermon on October 15th, 1952. Again, Meishu-sama says, "As I have said before, cancer, the illness most feared in the United States, is caused by toxins in meat. It is because of meat diet. It is because of the meat diet." Meishu-sama. I think that this sacred word is just as true to Americans back in 1952 as it is for Americans today. Wouldn't you agree? It appears that after heart disease, cancer is the second leading cause of death per capita in the United States. I don't think there's a single person watching today that does not have a close friend or relative who has died from cancer. Is there? But today's message number 26 from Masaaki-sama, A Paradise on Earth Starts from the Kitchen, is a message of hope for us, for me, and millions of people, not only in the United States, but worldwide. I'd like to watch this message with you right now and circle back with you after the video for a few reflections. So stay tuned as I put on the video.
We want to change. We want to change something within ourselves, don't we? Even though we may love who we are, we want to change, for example, our tendency to easily get jealous, to readily get irritated, to say that one thing you know you shouldn't have said, or something like that. And the thing is, no matter how hard we try, no matter how much we want, it is really difficult to control our emotions and actions, isn't it? That is, it is really difficult to change and overcome our weaknesses. To this, Kyoshu-sama gave us a solution. For us who act in a way we ourselves do not even want to act, or we who say things that we ourselves do not want to say, to surrender the whole of ourselves to God in the name of Messiah, as ones whose sins are already atoned for and forgiven. In essence, Kyoshu-sama is encouraging us to accept the atoning blood that Jesus shed for us 2,000 years ago. Even though I cannot stress enough how important this practice of surrendering is, today I want to provide another solution to our problem, and that is diet. More specifically, a vegan diet. Let me quote directly from Meishu-sama's sacred word. He said, vegetables made from nature farming are delicious, and this is truly important. If they are delicious, people will eat more vegetables. As you know, eating vegetables is good for your health. But more importantly, your nature changes. Human nature changes. People today are aggressive and easily get into fights or even kill others. This violent nature is related to what we eat. Unfortunately, vegetables today are grown with a lot of fertilizers and taste bad. That's why people are forced to eat a lot of meat and fish. But when vegetables are grown without fertilizers, they become delicious. The inclination toward conflict is deeply rooted in what we eat. As the world of Miroku comes, I need to make people eat more vegetables. I need to make people eat more vegetables. For that, vegetables need to be delicious. To produce delicious vegetables, they have to be grown without fertilizers. The benefit of nature farming for humanity is truly enormous. You didn't realize this point until today, did you? But I believe we have to let the world know about this too. Sermon, April 27th, 1952. Here, Meishu-sama is saying that the reason why we easily get irritated and become aggressive is because we are eating meat and fish. He's saying that the cause of conflict in the world is due to meat eating. This, I say, is very understandable. I mean, what do you expect? The animals we eat are dealt the most aggressive form of our expression, killing them. This sonen, this aggressive sentiment, of course enters our bodies when we consume them. More than that, as all living beings wish to survive, before those animals are slaughtered, they feel so much fear, anxiety, despair, helplessness, and all the other negative feelings we human beings would also go through if we were about to be killed. These negative feelings also, of course, enter our bodies if we eat them. However, through the sacred word I just cited, Meishu-sama is providing a solution to this great problem of the violent human nature. That is, eat more vegetables, or rather, change your diet to a vegan diet. This way, human nature will change and there will be less conflict in the world. As a result, a paradise on earth will emerge. This is huge, isn't it? I mean, I thought I had to live with my human nature and my weaknesses forever. But Meishu-sama is saying that we do not have to give up. He's saying that if we change our diet to a vegan diet, preferably eating vegetables grown without any agrochemicals, of course, but also without any chemical, biological, or natural fertilizers like manure or EM, our human nature can change into one that doesn't lead to conflict or fights or war, but to peace and harmony. One that can construct a paradise on earth, an ideal world that all of humanity have been wishing for a long time. Let me put it this way. From Meishu-sama's point of view, the key to constructing a paradise on earth does not rest in the hands of politicians or presidents or business people. Rather, it is in the hands of those who stand in the kitchen. It is in the hands of farmers who work with their bare hands covered with mud, not using any fertilizers or agrochemicals. It is not in the hands of those who wear suits like me, but in the hands of those who wear aprons and rugged clothing. It is not in the hands of those who just eat food, but yes, in the hands of those who cook and produce it. Everyone, this is a revolutionary message. Until today, we thought that an ideal world could come only when those who occupy important jobs, like those world leaders, do something. But Meishu-sama is saying that this perspective is completely wrong. And actually, it is the opposite of what we have believed until today. He's saying that the power to change the world lies in the kitchen. That is, it lies with you and your hands. If you cook a vegan diet in your kitchen, this will reduce the aggressive and violent nature of human beings and lead to the creation of a paradise on earth. If you, on your farm or in your small garden you have at home or wherever and however, produce vegetables without using any additives, believing in the power of soil itself, this leads to a paradise on earth. To put it more bluntly, I say that it depends on each one of you as to whether a paradise on earth arrives or not. Because if the key to world peace is in the kitchen, you can no longer blame others like politicians or presidents of the world and say that the world is in chaos because of them. It is you who need to do something for the world. Meishu-sama is showing us that a paradise on earth starts from the kitchen. A paradise on earth starts from the kitchen and from the soil. It doesn't matter whether you are a man or a woman, but you who stand in the kitchen have a power that none of us have realized until today. But can I just say, isn't it an undeniable fact that until today, men have often thought that the work they do outside the house is more important than the work that women do within it, namely looking after the home and standing in the kitchen? How wrong this thinking has been. So I say the time of revolution has arrived. The paradigm has shifted. The center of divine work is definitely not outside the house, but yes, inside the house, where women often are. And I say that now men need to throw away this erroneous thinking that what men do is more important than what women do. And that the time for women to take the lead has arrived, really. Here, I am in no way suggesting that women should continue to be the ones who do the cooking. No way. Men definitely need to do that too. I am trying to make us all, women and men alike, awaken to the truth that a paradise on earth starts from the kitchen. I myself am doing my best to spend as much time as possible in the kitchen and share the responsibilities of housework with my wife. You might say, oh, but those organic vegetables are so expensive. But you have to remember the posture of Meishu-sama, who started to produce his own food when there was a food shortage in Japan. And actually, this was how he started nature farming. So let us follow the example of Meishu-sama and produce food instead of simply buying and consuming it. We thought that we needed to do something special to serve in divine work. But if Meishu-sama is saying that humanity follows a vegan diet in the world of Miroku, then every day, with every meal you prepare, you can be a part of the divine work of constructing a paradise on earth. So let us, with burning passion, believe in the words of Meishu-sama. Practice nature farming, get muddy, and prepare and eat vegan food. Like this, let us change the world from the kitchen. And as we are talking about the importance of soil, I now feel the necessity to revisit the only sacred ground of Meishu-sama on earth at the moment. The sacred ground of soil. That's right. If all the bureaucratic and administrative issues are cleared, I will once again go to Angola, to Africa this year too, hopefully in August. And this time, I am coming with my wife, Mami.
How did you receive this video message? It is truly revolutionary and empowering. Wouldn't you agree? This sacred word is so rich that I think we could split this up into several online studies. So today, I would like to just comment on a few points as we start looking at this sacred word, and we can continue on next time. I think anyone here watching today can relate to the same type of powerlessness that Masaaki-sama described in this message. That powerlessness of wanting to change, but despite our best efforts, we just can't do it. Take a moment right now and see if you can come up with one point in your life that you have had tried to change within yourself in the past and was not successful about it. Maybe it's something that you prayed on before, but just can't seem to overcome it. Do you see it? Can you recall it? Maybe it's like Masaaki-sama shared in the video, a tendency to get easily irritated. Or maybe it's an impulsive feeling of blurting out things in the heat of the moment and later coming to regret it. Maybe it's a tendency to be jealous or something compulsive. Whichever that situation might have been for you, have you found yourself caught up in your own weaknesses? This goes beyond our emotions. Maybe we have been overtaken by these weaknesses and even acted on them. Sometimes those thoughts, feelings, and actions are so not you that you feel beside yourself. For situations like this, we have been learning how, through Kyoshu-sama, to surrender the whole of ourselves to God in the name of Messiah, as Masaaki-sama reminds us here. As he says, in essence, to accept the atoning blood that Jesus shed for us 2,000 years ago. And this is crucial, as we saw. I have been often asked, what more can I do? I am praying, I am surrendering, but what more can I do? I think that this video is the answer to that question for many. And in no way am I saying that we should stop surrendering. As Masaaki-sama himself shared here, he said, I cannot stress enough how important this practice of surrendering is. Today, we were really receiving a gift. One more practice to bring solutions to our problem, and that is the vegan diet. Did you ever think that what you eat influences your thoughts and feelings? Masaaki-sama, quoting Meishu-sama's sermon from April 1952, shares, the inclination toward conflict is deeply rooted in what we eat. This is huge, is it not? It is not just a simple correlation to it. Conflict is deeply rooted in what we eat, meaning that conflict and what we eat are so intertwined that you cannot separate the two. We have learned from Masaaki-sama's message number 20, titled Food, that meat eating clouds the blood, from an accumulation of toxins making us ill. And in today's message, Masaaki-sama goes even deeper into what we are actually consuming when we eat meat. It really hit home when he said, regarding his quote from Meishu-sama, he's saying that the cause of conflict in the world is due to meat eating. This, I say, is very understandable. I mean, what do you expect? The animals we eat are dealt the most aggressive form of our expression, killing them. This zoning, this aggressive sentiment, of course, enters our bodies when we consume them. More than that, as all living beings wish to survive, before those animals are slaughtered, they feel so much fear, anxiety, despair, helplessness, and all the other negative feelings we human beings would also go through if we were about to be killed. These negative feelings also, of course, enter our bodies if we eat them. Have you ever thought about that? About what you're consuming and absorbing? As you eat, you are absorbing all the fear, all the anxiety, all the despair, helplessness, and all the negative feelings as you're consuming that food. We look at food as proteins, nutrients, saturated fats, and so on. We have separated ourselves so much from its true essence that we even equate what is in a pill like a vitamin as being equal to whatever vegetable or meat product we eat. Truly ignorant and so distant from this truth, we are aiming to change to live better lives, not even aware of what we are consuming on a daily basis. It is commonly said, you are what you eat. As we are seeing here, this goes beyond the physical things that we are eating. Have you ever caught yourself filled with fear, anxiety, despair, helplessness, anger, and all sorts of other feelings, only to come to your senses later and think, wow, where did that come from? This sacred word is really opening us to see and perceive the world in a whole new light, to interact with the world and go about our lives in a whole new way, a truly godly way, and with so much hope. Masaaki-sama shares, however, through the sacred word I just cited, Meishu-sama is providing a solution to this great problem of the violent human nature, that is, eat more vegetables, or rather, change your diet to a vegan diet. This way, human nature will change and there will be less conflict in the world. As a result, a paradise on earth will emerge. This is huge, isn't it? I mean, I thought I had to live with my human nature and my weaknesses forever. You know, this is such an amazing message and so empowering. It is a message of hope, not only resolving issues of illness, but also conflict as well. How can a paradise on earth not emerge? And the best part of it is that you do not need to wait for someone to do it for you. You have to just take the first step and start by changing what is on your plate. So if you find yourself stuck in all sorts of feelings you cannot manage, situations that you wish you could change within yourself, why not challenge yourself today? Start by changing something as simple as what is on your plate and try it out. You might not see an immediate result, but there's no way that if you stick through it, you will not see a result. Challenge yourself, pray for the strength, and together with Meishu-sama, together with Christ Jesus, who are alive within you as one who has been atoned for and forgiven through the blood of Christ, surrender yourself to God and start by making a small change, one meal at a time. I would love to hear how this sacred word is changing your life and empowering you to be a better you. Keep a journal and keep track of the changes you made and how your life is changing with them. No matter how big or small they may be, I would love to read some of your experiences in the comments in 2 weeks from now when we meet again. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us encourage and pray for one another and make this revolution starting in our daily meals, starting in our kitchens. May all honor and may all glory be returned to God always.